Alright guys, it is March 9th and we're going to go ahead and get our brassicas planted up. We have a very warm next few weeks. I would normally plant these out March 15th-ish, but we have a really warm forecast coming up with like only one day below 32 degrees. That's tonight. So I'm not really worried about that. The brassicas will be able to handle it. They've been out in the greenhouse for a couple of weeks, so they will be fine. So I'd like to welcome you to my backyard Kentucky homestead. My name is Kim, and let's get started. So the first thing I want to do is to go ahead and get all the straw out, and then we'll fertilize it, and then we'll start planting. And I do want to remove as much of this brown material as possible, because what happens, I'm going to add some compost on top of this before we plant. And if this brown pine shavings and straw is mixed in underneath, it will rob the soil of the nitrogen. And where we're planting brassicas here, we really need good nitrogen. And hopefully putting this on the ground around the beds will help suppress some of the weeds. I do come through with a weed eater to knock the weeds down, but if we can get a little suppression on top of that, even better. I did make a mistake last year, not on this bed, but on 5 of the other beds. I got some, what I thought was straw at Tractor Supply. It was actually hay. So I ended up with kind of a mess in those beds. I did pull it out yesterday, but there was a lot of growth, and I'm sure there's a lot of seeds still going to be in there. You may notice I have trimmed the drip irrigation lines I was using last year. I'm going to be replacing it with drip tape this year, and I'll just put an end cap on these when I'm doing that. Just wasn't real happy with how the water distributed, so I'm going to be able to put more lines of drip tape for less money actually than the drip line or the drip tubing. The birds are waiting for breakfast, but I don't have any bird seed right now. I have to go get some. Should do it. I'm going to go get some compost. I'll be right back. So one of my goals for this year, what I figured out last year, these millennium, they call them millennium garlic or millennium onion. They're ornamental. It is completely edible. But what I'm going to try to do, when the beds I had these in last year with the squash had far fewer pest problems than the ones without. So I'm going to put at least one of these in every single bed this year. But I need to raise it up, so I'm going to go ahead and pull it up. And we'll add the compost, and then we'll put it right back in. And this is just compost from Home Depot. That's what I have available. So. And you will, with raised beds, you will need to top them off every year. This one is was not as full as it could be, but you will see some runoff and just some compression as time goes by, so you will have to add compost and maybe even some soil each year. Especially, I started all of these with like limbs and cardboard underneath, so that makes it drop even more as those deteriorate. So now I'm going to just take a rake and smooth this out a little bit, level it up, make sure that there's no big clumps in there. And I could totally add more soil to this, but I'm not going to right now. I may do that when we pull the brassicas out to go to the next summer crop. I probably will add some more at that point, some more compost. But I've got a lot of beds to top up right now, so just do a little bit at a time. So I've got the holly tone, the Spoma holly tone. It's a pretty balanced fertilizer. It is a little bit there's a little bit of soil acidifier, which isn't a bad thing because most vegetables are like slightly lower than 7 pH level. So I've used this for a couple of years now, and it's worked very well. And I did amend these beds with alfalfa pellets last year, so they should have a really good nitrogen load. which is what we need for cabbages and whatnot. Then I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of worm casting. And then I will come back in maybe about a week and put some fish emulsion on here, fertilizer, which I think is like a 511 NPK. And then we'll do that every couple of weeks. All right, we are ready to plant. So I have a variety of cabbages: Copenhagen Market, Red Acre Cabbage, Charmant, Charmont, and then we got some Romanesco broccoli. All of these can be planted at about 12-inch spacing, which is what I'm going to do. So my bed is 6.5 by 3.5, so I'm going to do 6 by 3, and it will work. So we'll do 3 across, and about every foot. It's a cauliflower. Now these are faster maturing, except for the red acre. Red acre takes longer, but the other two are faster maturing, so they are smaller cabbages. But that's okay, because we don't need huge cabbages. And I really want to be able to turn this bed over as soon as I can in May. We'll go ahead and put to the red acres 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 3. So we have 4 red acre cabbages. And then we have snowball broccoli. We got 3 there. So then we'll have 2 snowball broccolis. And we'll put these next to the red acre cabbage because this will take a little longer than that side. So what I'm going to do is just turn it over, squeeze the cup a little bit, make sure the roots are free, and go down just a little bit. You want to plant it even with the surface of the soil. You do not want to go below it, and we want to make sure to put our tag with it. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and just get the rest of these done. All right, there we go. All right, so in this bed, we're going to go ahead and add another one of the perennial alliums. And then I'm adding snowball cauliflower about 1 foot apart, white and purple kohlrabi about 6 inches apart. And then on the other end, I'm putting purple sprouting broccoli as well as calabrese broccoli. And those are about 1 foot apart as well. And I'm going to go ahead and get everything watered in really well. And after I finished watering, I did put frost cloth on top of it. Alright guys, so it's a couple of weeks later. It has been a super busy time. And these plants have gotten a lot bigger. I did have to go ahead and pull the frost covers off because they were getting so big. And we've been getting so much heavy rain and hail that it caused the covers to weigh on the leaves and actually break some of them. Both beds are doing really good though, and as you can see, they're huge, beautiful plants. They will be perfectly fine. So tomorrow I'm going to go ahead and make the covers for these beds, which will protect them from the cabbage moss. And we'll get the insect netting on there because we are going to have warm temperatures going forward. So look forward to that. Do check out that video. You'll have it out there soon. In the meantime, check out the onion video. And until the next time, happy gardening.